York City. Now she's here for you. Please give it up for Miss Elaine with everybody.
Thank you, everybody. I think you might be looking at me wondering, is that the love child of Barbara Streisand and Barry Manilow? I can't be because I'm almost their age. I'm a retired school teacher from New York. I came all the way from New York, and I taught in a really tough school. Like, you walk into the building and you see the school colors, black and blue. Like, when we were young, we used to carve our sweetheart's name in the desk. These kids carved their sweetheart's name in their sweetheart. Really tough. And the second grade girls had a gang. And the initiation was to take the milk containers off of my girls' lunch trays. So I named them the half pints. And the leader of the gang was the Dairy Queen. Oddly enough, she had a boyfriend who couldn't get it up, and his name was Mr. Softy. But I taught in a really tough school, and Mayor Bloomberg said everything was a teachable moment when I was teaching. So once Johnny was strangling Jimmy, I'm changing their names to protect the innocent or non-innocent. He was strangling him to death. So I break up the fight, and he goes like, "He choked me terrible!" I said, "Stop. You're using your adverbs incorrectly. He choked you terribly." And then I was teaching measurement, but my school never gave the teachers supplies or money for supplies. So I had to go home and bring in my own scale. So I brought in my bathroom scale, my Weight Watchers scale, and my cocaine scale. I'm only kidding. I never went to Weight Watchers. But the tray on top of that scale, you could put a great banana split in there with a lot of whipped cream and syrup. But I retired, like I said, and I'm getting older, and I try to have a positive attitude about getting older. So when I look in the mirror, instead of saying I have varicose veins, I say I have the Google roadmap to adventure. This road takes you to the Sterling Forest. To break that down to you young girls who do the Brazilian and all, it's like Silver Lake. And this road takes you to the Dead Sea. I don't have to break that one down, I'm sure. But I'm losing my hair. I'm being very vulnerable with a group of total strangers tonight. I'm losing my hair, but I know where it's going. It's going to my knuckles. I went to Coachella last year, it was about a year ago. It's a concert all the way in California. Coachella, you might have heard of it, I call it Chinchilla. But I was also at Woodstock 50 years ago. Anybody go to Woodstock? Yeah? You wait till you hear the differences when I went.
I don't remember it.
He was there.
I'll tell you what he meant by that, because they had a tent. And if you had a bad acid trip at Woodstock, you went in the tent. You know what the tent was for in Coachella? Acid indigestion. 3 people lost their virginity at Woodstock. 3 people lost their dentures at Coachella. And Woody Guthrie had a famous line in the movie, you probably remember it, sir. He said, "The freeway's closed, man." And everyone got out of their car and they walked through the mud to Woodstock. Well, the same thing happened at Coachella, except everyone took their walkers out of their car and walked to the concert. But what killed me was the performers. Like Neil Young, he's singing Heart of Gold, and in the middle of the song he goes like this. I said, no, Neil Young, I paid $333 for you to sing Heart of Gold to me. And then Paul McCartney, Maybe I'm Amazed. Maybe I'm amazed that you could stand there for 3.5 hours. I could barely stand here for 15 minutes. Crazy. You can relate, sir. Well, you don't remember any of it.
I woke up in Chicago.
Maybe you should come up here and finish my routine. So, he was talking about singles and dating and all that, and I was married twice. I was married first to a Jewish guy, and then I was married to a Chinese guy. So people say, what's the difference? There's really no difference. They're both cheap and they drive terribly. But we had 3 New Years. That was good when I was married to the Chinese guy. First you have the American New Year and you have fireworks. Then you have Chinese New Year. Of course there are fireworks. But then when you have the Jewish New Year, where are the fireworks? Unless you eat my Aunt Esther's gefilte fish and then you put a lot of horseradish on it, then you have fireworks. But now I am dating, so I met this guy from Brooklyn. Any New Yorkers here? Yay, Brooklyn. So I meet this guy from Brooklyn. He's from Bragg Street, Brooklyn. And he had very little to brag about because his singles ad said, loves long hikes. Then why are we in the lobby of your building pressing the elevator to go up 1 flight? Sorry, it's a true story. They didn't think it was funny. But then it says loves romantic horse and buggy rides. Excuse me, you live in Sheepshead Bay. You're not Amish. Horse and buggy ride. Well, I want to tell you something that happened when I was teaching. My first day of teaching when I got out of college, before I went, it was 1971, and I went to this hippie party. We used to have parties, and people would pass drugs around in those days. Maybe they still do. And they passed me what Bill Cosby gave people, a Quaalude. So they give me the Quaalude, and I didn't want to take it because I was going to go teach for the first day. I was going to substitute teach. I just graduated college. So I took the Quaalude and I opened my Midol jar. Fellas, what Midols are for cramps. So I opened my Midol jar. I put the Quaalude on top of the cotton ball so I wouldn't forget that it was there. And I went to substitute teach the next day. So the kids were really tough, and I'd never been around that before because it's my first day. And like they were ignoring me, like this kid's going, hey T-Bird, what up, slap me 5. And it's like I'm teaching first grade. I said, what are you, on the corner of Lexington and Amsterdam? Where are you? I said, oh yeah, I am. On the corner of Lexington Avenue and Harlem. So in the middle of the day, I survived the morning, and in the middle of the day, I had cramps of all things. I went to take my Midol. I opened it up, and you can imagine, I took the pill right off of the cotton ball, and it was the Quaalude, and all of a sudden, nothing bothered me anymore. And like, it was the end of the year, so the books were stacked up, and I'm like walking into them like a human pinball machine. And I couldn't even talk after a while. And this one little girl who could read by the end of the year, I said, read Green Eggs and Ham. And she goes, she's like all proud of herself. She goes, Sam, I am. I go, stop! She's reading like a teacher to the class. She said, shut up, I'm trying to read. Well, thank you very much.
Colleen Witt, everybody!